Have you ever wondered if the stories in the Bible, passed down for thousands of years, have any real-world proof? What if I told you that scattered across the globe, buried under sand and stone, are discoveries so strange, so unexpected, that they seem to pull these ancient texts from the realm of faith into the world of fact? We're not just talking about old scrolls. We're talking about physical evidence, mapped and verified, that will make you question everything you thought you knew. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover 10 of the most bizarre archaeological finds that align with biblical accounts in ways you can't imagine. Prepare to see history in a new light. Let's begin our journey in modern-day Iraq, the land once known as Mesopotamia. The Bible speaks of the Tower of Babel, a colossal structure built by a united humanity to reach the heavens, an act of hubris that led to the confusion of languages. For centuries, this story was considered a myth. But then, archaeologists unearthed a massive ziggurat dedicated to the god Marduk. Cuneiform tablets found nearby, like the Tower of Babel stele, describe its construction and, more intriguingly, its ruin and the scattering of its builders. The dimensions and description eerily echo the biblical narrative. Could this be the physical remnant of that legendary tower, a silent monument to a time when humanity shared a single voice? Next, we travel to the sun-scorched earth of Egypt. The book of Exodus tells the dramatic story of the Israelites' slavery and their miraculous escape. For a long time, there was no Egyptian record of this event, leading many to dismiss it. But then, a discovery was made that sent ripples through the historical community: the Merneptah Stele. This granite slab, carved around 1208 BC, boasts of Pharaoh Merneptah's military victories. In one stunning line, it proclaims, "Israel is laid waste, its seed is no more." This is the earliest known extra-biblical reference to a people called Israel in the land of Canaan. While it doesn't prove the Exodus, it confirms that a distinct group identified as Israel existed in that region, at that time, significant enough for a pharaoh to mention them. It's a single, powerful line of text that anchors the Israelites to a specific point in history. Let's move north to the ancient city of Jerusalem. The Bible paints a vivid picture of King David and his vast kingdom. But for years, skeptics argued there was no proof he ever existed outside the scriptures. He was a literary figure, they said, a legend. That all changed in 1993 at Tel Dan, in northern Israel. Archaeologists unearthed a broken piece of a stone monument, an Aramaic inscription from the 9th century BC. It celebrated a king's victory over his enemies, the king of Israel and the house of David. The house of David. Suddenly, David was no longer just a character in a story. He was the founder of a recognized royal dynasty, a name etched in stone by his enemies. This small fragment of rock provided the first concrete, historical evidence for the biblical King David. Our fourth stop takes us to the ruins of Nineveh, in modern-day Iraq, a city the Bible describes as a great and wicked metropolis. The book of Jonah tells the tale of a prophet sent to warn Nineveh of its impending doom. The story seemed like a fable. How could a city so vast simply disappear? For centuries, Nineveh was lost to time. But in the mid-19th century, explorers rediscovered it. Excavations revealed a magnificent city, just as the Bible described. Even more astounding was the discovery of the library of Ashurbanipal, containing thousands of clay tablets. Among them were texts that paralleled biblical accounts, including a flood story strikingly similar to that of Noah's Arkansas. The rediscovery of Nineveh itself was a confirmation of its biblical importance. Now, let's explore a very personal artifact. The Bible's book of Jeremiah mentions a royal official named Gemariah, son of Shaphan. It's a specific name, a specific lineage. You'd think it would be impossible to verify such a detail. But in the city of David, in Jerusalem, a tiny clay seal, a bulla, was found. It was used to seal documents, bearing the owner's impression. The inscription on this particular bulla, barely a centimeter wide, reads, "Belonging to Gemariah, son of Shaphan." The exact name and title from the book of Jeremiah, literally held in the palm of a hand. It's a direct, tangible link to a specific individual mentioned in the scriptures, a fingerprint from the past. Our sixth discovery involves a figure central to the New Testament: Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor who presided over the trial of Jesus. Besides the Gospels, for a long time, there was little physical evidence he was a real historical figure. But in 1961, at the ancient theater of Caesarea Maritima on the coast of Israel, a block of limestone was found. It was being reused in a staircase. When cleaned, it revealed a partially damaged inscription. The legible text read, Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea. This was the first archaeological find to name Pilate and confirm his historical title and position. A man once known only through religious texts was now cemented in the archaeological record, from a governor to a high priest. Caiaphas, the high priest who, according to the Gospels, organized the plot to execute Jesus, was another figure whose existence was unconfirmed outside the Bible. In 1990, workers in a Jerusalem forest accidentally discovered a burial cave. Inside were 12 ossuaries, or bone boxes. One was intricately decorated. Scratched on its side was the name Joseph, son of Caiaphas. Scholars widely agree this was the tomb of the very same high priest mentioned in the New Testament. Inside were the bones of a 60-year-old man, possibly Caiaphas himself. It's a chillingly personal discovery, the final resting place of a key player in one of history's most famous events. Our eighth point takes us beneath the streets of modern Jerusalem, to the Pool of Siloam. The Gospel of John recounts the story of Jesus healing a blind man by telling him to wash in this very pool. For nearly 2,000 years, the exact location of the original pool was lost. Scholars knew of a pool built by a Byzantine empress in the 5th century, but not the one from the time of Jesus. Then, in 2004, during a routine sewage pipe repair, workers stumbled upon ancient stone steps. Archaeologists took over and slowly uncovered a monumental pool, dating precisely to the Second Temple period, the time of Jesus. Coins found in the plaster and the style of the stonework confirmed its age. The very pool from the biblical story had been found. Number 9 is a story of conquest and verification. The Bible describes the brutal Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem in 586 BC, a cataclysmic event that saw the city and its temple destroyed. While this was a well-documented event, archaeology has added a visceral layer of reality. In excavations throughout Jerusalem, archaeologists have found a distinct layer of ash and rubble, filled with arrowheads from Babylonian archers, crushed pottery, and burned buildings. This destruction layer is a scar in the earth, a physical testament to the fiery end of the city, exactly as described in the books of Jeremiah and 2 Kings. You can literally see and touch the evidence of the biblical account of Jerusalem's fall. For our final, and perhaps most mysterious discovery, we look to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered by a Bedouin shepherd in the caves of Qumran, these are not a single find, but a library of over 900 ancient manuscripts. They contain the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, dating back 1,000 years earlier than any previously known. When compared to the modern Bible, the accuracy of the text, preserved over a millennium of manual copying, is astonishing, over 95% identical. But here's the twist. The scrolls also contain texts not found in the Bible, detailing the beliefs of a reclusive Jewish sect. They speak of a teacher of righteousness and an expected battle between the sons of light and the sons of darkness. This provides an incredible window into the diverse and fervent religious world in which Jesus and the early Christians lived. They don't just confirm the biblical text, they reveal the complex, hidden world behind it. So what does this all mean? From a pharaoh's boastful monument to a tiny clay seal, from a forgotten pool to a lost library, these discoveries are more than just historical curiosities. They are physical anchors for stories that have shaped civilizations. They don't necessarily prove faith, but they undeniably ground the biblical narrative in a real, tangible, and often surprising history. The lines between myth, history, and belief become beautifully blurred. These pieces of stone and papyrus challenge us to look at this ancient text not as a single, static book, but as a living document intertwined with the rich, complicated, and verifiable tapestry of human history. The past is never truly dead. Sometimes, it's just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If this journey made you think, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the mysteries of our past.